Islamism. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. Ever seeking refuge from the accursed Satan. In the name of Allah, I rise, give all praises to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds, most gracious, most merciful. Allah, the causeless cause and the rootless root, from whom all life comes, to whom all life returns. Allah, our Had. I rise to give all honor to all the true and divine prophets from all times and all climes, those who are known as well as those who are unknown to us, and our messenger of nationality, birthright, divine creed, our warner, and our redeemer, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honor to our brother and sister adepts, and our brother and sister deputy officers, members, card-carrying, non-card-carrying, our families joining us for our National Holy Night Call, sponsored by the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. This is April the 2nd, 2021, Gregorian calendar, Islam. At this time, subhanAllah, yes, at this time, all who are able, please rise, stand erect, facing these, heels together, toes separate at a 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular thereto, with 5 fingers erected together on the left, 2 fingers erected together on the right, for our Moorish American prayer. Islam, Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Ameen. The crescent and star of salvation, the all-seeing eye of Allah, the handpress of unity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Chief and the Chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is in power to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Chief is to assist the Grand Chief in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All members are to be opened and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they must know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and last dead until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Jew Ali, through the guidance of his prophet God, Allah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Giving thanks and praises, I believe I hear my brother, Deputy Sheikh Makabe, to whom I call the floor. I give the floor for the reading of our question and additional laws for Moorish Americans Islam. Brother Deputy Sheikh, star, meet your phone.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. How are you doing today, Divine Minister?
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Blessed. Thank you, Lord. The floor is yours.
Islam, same way. Islam, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ever seeking refuge from the accursed one and rising to my high sides, giving perfect access to Allah, the great God, Father of all worlds. And in all true divine prophets, seen, unseen, known, unknown, and reincarnated to an illustrious Hebrew prophet in these days and times, Prophet Noble Joel. And also giving honors to our National Grand Chief Joel Grattan Bay. Give thanks for your due diligence in assisting us in rising. Yes, and to our officials in Baltimore, Sheikhs, Deputy Sheikhs and Sheikhs, our children, worship achievers, family guests, newly naturalized citizens. Shout out to Marcus Messiah, God with the forerunner, and to the ancient spirit that guide us through all these turbulent times. Greet all in love with Islam. Shabbat Shalom, happy holy creation day to all. I will proceed in reading the additional laws for the Moorish Americans by Prophet Noble Jew Allah. Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses. Each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Jew Allah. For acting upon by any members, let it be finance, property, or in a line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc., that will cause the support of any group of members. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Act 2. All members are to attend their added meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he'll be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If a member is working, the dues must be paid, and if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. And if he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must conform himself to the questionnaire, and let every member exercise his 5 senses who is able to do so, because out from your Sunday school comes the guiders of the nation. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. That they must know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people are Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nation of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained noble Jawahar the prophet, to redeem his people from the sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all of the tenets of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of one humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love. This divine covenant is from the Holy Prophet, noble to Allah, through the guidance of his Father God, Allah. Emmanuel, Bismillah. Here ends the reading for additional laws, and again, Shabbat Shalom to all on the call and all Muslims all over the world. Ramadan Mubarak. Ramadan Kareem. Turn the floor, moderator. Divine Minister.
Islam. Shukran for the Deputy Chief for that divine reading of our divine constitution and bylaws. Again, we welcome all to our National Holy Night Call, sponsored by the Moorish Science Temple, Divine and National Movement in North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American Republic. We say to each of you, blessed holy night, Juma Mubarak, Shabbat Shalom. Our Holy Night Call is for those who are without a temple, unable to get to the temple, or any reason. We are here, and we invite each and every one to share every Friday with us here, inshallah, by the grace of Allah, every Friday here. At this time, let's see who's on the line. We see, excuse me, I am your brother, Sheikh Abdul-Rahim here, out of here, Divine Minister. Hold on, Mose, please mute your phone until, please, hold on, thank you. Divine Minister is sitting with you tonight, and again, we just heard Deputy Chief Macau Bay, so we know that we too are on the line. Now, unmute your phone, Mo, and tell us who you are from where you're calling. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, brother. How are you?
Islam, all is well. All is well with you and the family?
All is blessedly well, because of Lord Day 44. We're blessed to be here one more time.
Islam, indeed. And that was Brother King in the background.
Islam. I do you, Mo. Islam.
All right. Islam family, this is Brother Mainstream Gray Bay 44, calling out of Massachusetts Commonwealth. Just like to wish all the Moors on the call and all the Muslims all over the world happy holy night, Shabbat Shalom, Islam, and peace.
Islam, Gray Bay 44 again. Welcome. Always a blessing to have
Islam.
You. Islam, beloved.
Pardon me, I didn't mean to cut you off, Divine Minister. This is Sister E. Marie Lee Day. Calling out of the Arizona Republic. Just wanted to check in on the call and wish everyone happy holy night. Islam.
Islam. Welcome, Sister Lee Day. No, we share the call, no cutoff. All is well. Welcome to the call. Glad to hear your voice, beloved.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, Brother Hill. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Islam. And yourself, sir?
Oh, divinely blessed, Mo. Divinely blessed. Alhamdulillah. We're here another Friday.
Praise Allah. Just want to wish all the Moors on call tonight and all the Moors around the world, all the officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America, members, students, a happy holy night. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Georgio, calling from the Quebec Republic. Yes? Give thanks. Give thanks.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister, all is well?
All is well, beloved. All is well. How are you, Moore?
Oh, all is truly well, Moore. Brother Joy Hampton L. from the Washington State Republic, wishing all the Moors out there a happy holy day, holy night, Shabbat Shalom, peace and love to you all, and stay safe. Islam.
Islam. Brother Hampton Needle family, thank you for joining us. Welcome, Moore. Give thanks.
Islam.
Islam.
This is Brother Edward Walker Bay out of Washington State Republic. I want to wish all the Moors on the call a happy holy night. Islam.
Islam, Brother Walker Bay, welcome. Blessed to hear you with us. Shabbat Shalom. Islam, Moors, the floor is still open.
Islam.
Islam.
They're double. Islam.
I yield.
Hey, both of you yield. It's quite nice, but one of you should take it too.
Islam.
No, I think I heard a sister.
Yes.
That's what I thought I heard too. Islam.
All right. Sister?
Yes, Islam. This is Sister Culverhouse out of the New York Republic, just calling to say happy holy night and Shabbat Shalom. Oh, yeah, Shabbat Shalom, Islam.
Islam. Sister, which cover house? I know we have two.
Charlene.
Sister Charlene Coverhouse. All right, Sister Coverhouse, Charlene Coverhouse. Welcome, beloved. Welcome. Alhamdulillah. Islam. More.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. This is Brother Lester McQuarrie Bay from Washington State Republic. Say happy holy night to all.
Islam, Brother McQuarrie Bay. We send those holy night greetings back to you. It dropped, but we know you're here. So welcome. Glad to have you with us. Islam. I think the other
Happy holy day. Islam.
Islam, beloved.
My name is Anna Tenepin. Boy, my beautiful I and the happy holiday is now a peace.
Islam, divine one. Thank you, beloved. Happy holy day to you. Alhamdulillah. Train the child up in the way that she should go. Islam, Morris. The floor is still open.
Islam.
Islam.
Are you?
Islam. Thank you, good brother. Islam Sheikh, all is well?
All is well, Brother Simpson, Neal, and yourself?
All is truly well. And yourself?
Hey, we're here to talk about it, so it must be good. Alhamdulillah.
Absolutely, alhamdulillah. Brother Michael Simpson-Neal family, calling out of Wayne County, Michigan Republic. Just want to say happy holy night, happy holy day to all the Moors on the call and all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Islam?
Yes, Shabbat Shalom, Brother Simpson-Neal. Welcome. Glad to hear you in the family with us. Islam, brother who yielded.
Islam, Chief.
Islam.
Islam, this is Marcus Troy Reynolds Eel, calling out of Connecticut Republic, wishing all the Moors a happy holy night. Islam and peace.
Islam, Brother Reynolds Eel. Good to hear your voice again. Welcome. Give thanks. Blessed holy night. Floor is still open, Moors. Star, mute your phone. Tell us who you are and where you're calling.
Islam.
Islam, beloved.
Islam, Sister Darlene Gore-Il, calling from South Carolina Republic to wish all the Moors on the call happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom. Islam.
Islam, Sister Gore-Il, welcome. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us. Floor is still open. Islam, beloved.
This is Emily Nader calling out of New York Republic. Just wanted to wish all the Moors on the call a happy holy night and happy holy night to all the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom. Islam.
Islam. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, Sister Emily Nader. Blessed to hear you again. Alhamdulillah. Islam. Islam, brother.
Islam. Sheikh, all is well with you?
Alhamdulillah, all is divinely well. Giving thanks for yourself.
Indeed, all is truly well. It's always a pleasure to hear your vibration. This is Brother Cornelius Sanders Bay calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Want to wish all the Muslims all around the world a happy holy day, happy holy night, and to all the Moors on the call and not on the call, happy holy day, happy holy night, Jum'ah Mubarak, Shabbat Shalom.
Alhamdulillah, Imam Mubarak, Imam Kareem, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, Brother Dan. Floor is still open.
Islam. My name is. Sorry, go ahead, brother.
You can go ahead. I'll come right after you.
All right, thanks, brother. Islam. My name is Joseph Kishui from Quebec Republic. Wishing everybody a holy day and happy holy night for everyone online and all the Moors in the world. Thank you very much, and Islam.
Islam, Brother Joseph Kishui. Welcome. Glad to hear you again, Mo. Islam. Islam, the other brother.
Yes, sir. Islam Sheikh. Hope all is well with you.
Alhamdulillah, I keep always divinely well. Yourself?
Oh, doing well, doing well. This is Brother Demetrius Williams Hill calling out of Massachusetts Commonwealth, wishing all the brothers and sisters, all the Muslims, here and there, happy holy night, happy holy day, and peace and love to you all. Islam.
Islam, Brother Demetrius Williams, you are welcome. Glad to have you with us again, Mo. Good to hear your voice. Islam. The floor is still open, Mo. Islam.
Islam. It's all is well with you, Divine Minister.
Hey, ever blessed, Mo. We here one more time. Glad to be here with you and yourself.
All is well. All is well. Thank you for asking. This is Jermaine Fowler out of the New Jersey Republic. Wishing all those who are on the call, guests, members, those who are here and unknown, and family and friends. I'm wishing all of you all a Islam and happy holy day. Islam.
Islam, Brother Jermaine Fowler, we receive that and return it to you 1,000 over. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate your presence again. Islam, the floor is still open, Mo. Don't be shy.
Islam.
Islam, sister.
Yeah. I just want to wish everyone on the call a happy holy night. This is Cynthia Culverhouse calling out of the New York Republic. Islam.
Islam, Sister Cynthia Culverhouse. Happy to have you with us again, beloved. And we receive that and return those greetings to you 1,000-fold as well. Alhamdulillah, welcome. Floor is still open, Moors. Islam. No one else at this time.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. All is well with you?
All is well, beloved. All is well. Giving thanks and praises. And yourself?
All is well. My name is Nadej Joseph from Quebec Republic. Just to say a happy holy night, happy holy day to all the Muslims in the world on the call and those that are not on the call. Happy holy night. Islam and peace.
Islam. Excuse me, Sister Nadej Joseph. Welcome. We're blessed to have you with us as ever. Islam, Moors. Floor is open. Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister. We have 33 participants on the call. Islam.
Thank you, Brother Grade Bay 44. Anyone else wishing to check in? Now's a good time. Don't be shy again. We're not here to turn anyone into any authorities, of course.
Islam.
Islam.
Islam, Divine Minister, all is well?
Hey, all is well, Brother Eel, and yourself?
All is truly well. It's Brother Levi Ill and the family out of Louisiana Republic, also pronounced Levi or Levi Ill. Just want to say happy holy night. Shabbat Shalom to all the Moors and Muslims on the call. Peace and love. Islam.
Peace and love. Welcome, Levi Ill, Levi Ill family. Blessed to have you with us as well. Yes, thanks. Islam, beloved.
Islam. Pardon, stuff. I didn't mean to cut you off, Divine Minister.
No problem, beloved. The floor is yours. We're here together. Islam.
Much appreciated. Islam, this is Sister Shelley Waite Bay and family calling from the South Carolina Republic, saying happy holy night to all of the Muslims around the world. Shabbat Shalom, Islam, and peace. Much love.
Islam, Sister Waite Bay. Happy to have you with us, beloved, as ever. You and the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessed. Islam, the floor is still open.
Islam?
Identify yourself. Tell us what you're calling. Islam.
Islam, this is Sister Michelle Ewart from the New York Republic. Just wishing happy holy day and happy holy night to all the Moors. Just peace, love to everyone. Islam.
Islam. Sister Michelle Ewart. Again, we're blessed to have you with us one more time. We're here together by the grace of Allah. Thank you for checking in. Alhamdulillah. Welcome. Well, it's up to you. We're not here to betray anybody. We don't make anyone identify, but at the same time, we welcome everyone to identify that we may acknowledge your presence here every Friday. So, anyone else wishing to check in, now is a very good time. Islam, tell us where you're calling from. Tell us your name. Islam. Alhamdulillah. Well, we have about 20 or so out of the 30. So I think you said 33, Brother Grade Bay 44. So we have about 21, 22 with Princess Anira checking in. Islam.
Brother.
Islam.
This is Daryl Williams from the Georgia Republic. I'll call to wish everybody a happy holy night. Thank you and peace.
Thank you. You say Brother Gerald Williams?
It's Daryl Williams.
Daryl Williams.
That's correct.
From the Georgia Republic.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Brother Daryl Williams. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more from you. But welcome this holy night. Blessed love.
Thank
you. Yes. Islam. Anyone else? Don't be shy. We're here together. All is love. All is love, and all is divine. All right. We'll move forward with our process. Thanking each of you who have checked in. Thanking each of you who are with us, whether you checked in or not. Your presence is still valuable to us, and we appreciate very much that you are with us on this Friday to uplift our humanity in a collective way, Islamism. At this time, we always read our Shabbat Unity Prayer. Our Shabbat Unity Prayer is a prayer that we put together specifically for our Friday evening. We do it on our Friday night call, but we ask those who have it to do it independent of the Friday night call. Every Friday, about 30 minutes after sundown, and for those who make Salat after the Maghrib prayer, in order to put these three vibrations into the creation, into the ethers, every creation, that the blessings will come down and we will move forward spiritually, i.e. divinely and nationally. So if you're interested, if you don't have the prayer and you know someone who does, you feel free to get it from them. If you don't know anyone, send an email to Divine Ministry at Moorish American National Republic.com. That's with the Y, Divine Ministry at Moorish American National Republic.com. And with your request, make your request known for the Unity Duas, and we will get them to you, inshallah. At this time, I don't know, Brother George, if you're ready. We appreciate it if you are able, but if not, we're looking for a volunteer to read our unity prayer for us this evening. Islam?
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, Brother Yield. Thank you for stepping forward. The floor is yours, beloved.
Islam. Islam, Moshe. As we come together this creation to give thanks and praise to our Father God, Allah, our Prophet Noble Jew Ali leads the way to a destiny which is not uncertain nor unknown. We are fortified by the impregnable doctrine built upon love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam, rising to my highest height, giving all honors and perfect praise to our Mother, Father, God, Allah, and to all our divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and in these last days and time, our divine and honorable prophet, Noble Drew Ali, in the first, second, and third form. I give honors to all our ancestors, known and unknown. I remain standing, giving honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joel Broughton Bay, of Temple 13, Baltimore, Maryland. I extend all honors to all officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America, all sheiks and sheikesses, deputy sheiks and deputy sheikesses, family, friends, visitors, and all Moors around the world. Islam, bringing in during the Sabbath. Bismillah, in the name of Allah. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. O Most High, Thou the createst of all there is, Thou the all of love, life, the omniscient, the all providing, the all of love. We come to Thee this Sabbath Eve, grateful for Your imbuing us with the radiant substance of health these 7 days past, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our living. We thank Thee for the blessings of divine substance of wealth flowing into our lives these 7 days past, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank You for all these blessings, and we bless Thy name and worship Thee and Thee alone. We bless the creation past and pray Thou wilt find our deed, our work, our service to Thee approving in Thy sight. By Your grace, we love Thee. We love Thee. We love Thee, O Most High. We bless the creation yet manifesting, thanking Thee for the breath of life and the radiant substance of health permeating our being, endowing us with the vibrant presence in all areas of our lives. Ever praying that our deeds, our work, our service to Thee in this creation will be found approving in Thy sight. Inshallah. We thank Thee for the flow of divine substance of wealth, this creation, filling our lives with abundance and greatness. We thank You. Truly without Thee, the all-providing, we are lost. And with Thee, the omnipotent, inshallah, the victory is ever ours. We thank You for Your indwelling spirit, speaking and directing us to our best and highest good. May we ever hear Your voice and heed Your words. Manifest Your will. May our heart ever know Thy presence, our minds overflow with Thy thoughts, our eyes see Thy divinity, our mouth speak Thy words, our hands accomplish Thy work, our feet walk Thy path. We thank Thee for the wisdom to know Thy will, the fortitude to manifest Thy will, the perseverance to persist in Thy way until Thy will be done. We love and thank you, Divine One. We love and thank you for every opportunity to serve thee, to accomplish thy will. Thy will be done. May thy indwelling spirit guide and protect us this creation as we build and manifest thy divine estate in the living now. Giving thanks and praises to thee and thee alone. We love thee. We love thee. We love thee, O Most High. Amen. Ashe. Amunra. Sila. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I now return the floor to our divine minister and moderator. Islam and peace.
Islam. Thank you, Brother Giorgio, for that well-paced and heartfelt read of our Shabbat Unity Prayer. May Allah bless the reading of our divine constitution and bylaws, our additional laws, and our unity prayer. Inshallah, we pray. At this time, Moors, we usually go into our chapter for the evening, but before we do that, we have some other very special business to attend. We have two of our attendees who have indicated their desire to make Kalimat Shahada, the Islamic declaration of faith. Every deen, that is house of worship, has a Kalimat or a declaration of faith that you make as you enter in that particular deen. Most of us are familiar with the Christianity deen of one so-called Jesus Christ being Lord and Savior and etc. That's a declaration of faith in how you're going to believe. In Islam, it is the same. We have a declaration of faith which is worded Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasuluhu wa abduhu. Translated, I bear witness that there is no creator but the Creator, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the servant and messenger and servant of that Creator of Allah. The declaration of faith, Kalima Shahada, separates, or I should say, brings closer the responsibility, the duty, the discipline of the deen of Islam. Our prophet tells us in our Moorish literature that, and he asks a question, and you'll find the question on page 8, what is Islam? Islam is a very simple faith. It requires humanity to recognize our duties towards God, Allah, our Creator, and our fellow creatures. It teaches the supreme duty of living at peace with one's surroundings. Islam is preeminently the religion of peace. The very name Islam means peace. The goal of a man-woman's life, according to Islam, is peace with everything. Peace with Allah and peace with humanity. The Quran, the holy book of Islam, tells us that the final abode of man is the house of peace, Darul Islam, or Baitul Islam, where no vain word or sinful discourse will be heard. The Holy Divine Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, says that a follower of Islam, in the true sense of the word, is one whose hands, tongues, and thoughts do not hurt others. That's the true sense of the word. Object of man's life, according to Islam, is its complete unfoldment. Islam teaches that humanity is born with unlimited capacities for progress. Islam does not support the idea that humanity was born in sin. It teaches that everyone has within him and her the seed of perfect development, and it rests solely upon with himself or herself to make or mar his or her fortune. The cardinal doctrine of Islam is the unity of the Father, Allah. We believe in one God, Allah, who is all God, all mercy, and all power. Allah is perfect and holy, all wisdom, all knowledge, and all truth. These are some of Allah's great attributes so far as we can comprehend, understand. Allah is free from all defects, holy and transcendent. Allah is personal to us insofar as we see Allah's attributes working for us and in us. Allah is nevertheless impersonal because Allah is infinite, perfect, and holy. We do not believe that death, decay, or sleep overtake Allah. Neither do we believe that Allah is helplessly inactive in inert force. Nothing happens without Allah's knowledge and will. Allah neither begets nor is Allah begotten, because these are traits of frail and weak humanity. The unity of Allah is the first and foremost pillar of Islam, and every other belief hangs upon it. By Noble Jew Ali, the Prophet. That's the Prophet telling us what is Islam. And he tells us that the very first pillar of Islam is the oneness of Allah, and that every belief hangs on it. So this evening, two of our sisters, Sister Rayoni Levi and Sister Charlene Culverhouse, are you both with us? Are here to make their declaration. Islam, sisters, star, mute your phone if you're with us. Sister Levi, Charlene Culverhouse.
Islam. I'm here. I'm present.
All
Islam.
Right, Sister Charlene. Islam. Sister Leviel. All right, I'm going to speak to you both at first and then individually. Usually when we do this, it is Friday, alhamdulillah. It is usually, Kalima Shahada is usually done during the after the Jumu'ah prayer has been completed on Friday. So the fact that we, as Moorish Americans, do not have a masjid where we make Jumu'ah, but we do have our holy night, we have brought it to this moment to share with the family. For the taking of this declaration is a public event. It's not a private event. The community is to know who is and who isn't. By taking this declaration, my sisters, you are taking on a discipline that you will serve Allah in a special way and make an effort to strive to live in a special way. The way is outlined in the Quran, as Jew Ali tells us, Prophet tells us on our nationality cards, that we are Muslims under divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. But when we take on this shahada, when we make this statement, this one statement, it is saying that we are going to make an extra effort to live a certain way and to maintain the 5 principles of Allah. The Prophet tells us the first of those principles is the belief in the oneness of Allah, in the oneness of the message of Allah, and in the oneness of the messengers who bring that message of Allah. The second principle is salat. That is the effort to pray 5 times a day, prescribed prayers. And I pray you both have received the material on the salat. If not, we'll make sure you get it to help you with that. But we strive to make 5 prayers a day. Fajr in the morning, before it is dawn, Dhuhr in the afternoon, so we're about 1 o'clock. Asr around 3 o'clock. I'm giving rough times, and Maghrib right at the setting of the sun, after the setting of the sun, as the sun is going down, and Isha about an hour or so after, depends upon where you're living. But those 5 prayers are the necessities of prayer. That's the second pillar of Islam. The third pillar of Islam, you're saying that the Siyam, or the fast of Ramadan, the fast which for 30 days, and it moves forward every year by about 11 days. So it's never in the same month every year. It moves throughout the calendar. But during Ramadan, we partake neither of food, water, or any of our carnal habits. The men are urged, encouraged, told to take space from their wives so that they do not indulge sexually during the day, keeping ourselves pure and clean for Allah. The fast of Ramadan, we read 1/30 of our Quran every day, so that within that 30 days we read the full Quran at least once a year. We read this Quran fully from cover to cover, and that is without any commentary. That is without the commentary, just the Quran. The fourth pillar of Islam is zakat. That is the giving of the 20% of the income to the community to take care of the widows, the orphans, and the needy. And the fifth pillar of Islam is to make Hajj, that is a pilgrimage to Mecca, at least once in your lifetime, if possible. These are the five pillars of Allah, the five pillars of Islam, that when we make this statement, we are saying we're going to strive in this way to continue to pronounce the oneness of Allah, the unity of Allah, to pray 5 times a day, to fast during the month of Ramadan, to make our zakat payment, and when we can, inshallah, make the Hajj to Mecca. So before we proceed, sisters, do either of you have any questions on anything that has been said so far? Alhamdulillah. All right. Your silence is fine. So we're going to start one at a time. Sister Rayoni Levi, Islam, please unmute your phone.
Islam.
Good to hear your voice this evening. Sister Levi, you have indicated you wish to make this commitment to Allah. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Alhamdulillah. The realizing that there is an afterlife, that there is something that happens when we lay our bodies down. You are indicating that you are aware that one day you will have to stand before your Creatress and render her the just account of your life. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Alhamdulillah. So with that, what I want you to do now is take your right finger, your index finger only, hold your hand up about this, where your head is, with your right index finger extended, making that one, showing the oneness of Allah. And I'm going to say these words in the Arabic slow, and I want you to repeat these words, and then we'll translate them to the English. All right? Here we go. Fingers up. Ashhadu an la. Ashhadu. Mr. Levi.
Islam.
Islam. I want you to repeat after me.
Okay.
Ashhadu. With your finger up.
Ashhadu.
Allah.
Allah.
Illa. Ha. H-A. Ha. Illallah. Wa ashadu. Anna. Anna. 2 N. A-N-N-A. Anna.
Oh, Anna.
Muhammadan. Rasul. Allah. Wa abduhu. This is your declaration of faith. You say it many times when you make your prayer. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasuluhu wa abduhu, which means I bear witness.
I bear witness. I bear witness.
That there is no creator.
That there is no creator.
But the creator. And I bear witness. That Muhammad. Is the messenger. And servant of Allah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. You have just made your declaration of faith. Alhamdulillah. So you are not just Muslim by nature, but a Muslim by declaration. Islam. Alhamdulillah. Sister Cobra Hill. Sister Cobra House. I don't know that you heal, excuse me. But Sister Cobra House.
Islam.
We'll see if you're ill or obey as we go. Alhamdulillah. But you heard what we just did. You have no questions, as I asked if you had questions. So with that, I ask you also to take your right hand with your index finger extended and hold it up at the height of your head.
Islam.
With that, Repeat after me. Ashadu
Ashadu
alla
alla
ilaha
ilaha
illallah.
illallah.
Ashadu, excuse me.
Ashadu
Wa ashadu. Wa ashadu.
wa ashadu
Anna
anna
Muhammadan
Muhammadan
Rasulullah.
Rasulullah
Rasul.
Rasul
Allah.
Allah
Wa
wa
wa abdu.
Abdu
Abdu.
Abdu
Abduhu.
Abduhu
أشهد لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسوله وعبده, which means I bear witness
I bear witness
that there is no creator
that there is no creator
but the creator,
but the creator,
and I bear witness
and I bear witness
that Muhammad is the messenger
is the messenger
and servant
and servant
of Allah.
of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. So again, sister, I was remiss. You are aware that someday you are scheduled to meet your creators and give an account of your life. Is that correct?
Correct. Islam.
And now you're taking on the responsibility of discipline to bring yourself even into more accord with the will of Allah. May Allah bless you, Sister Culver House, and Sister Rioni Levi Eel, to be strong in the faith, make your way easy, and bring forth from you the greatness that Allah has already planted in you to manifest in the bringing forth of the divine estate and the living here and now. Bless you both. Thank you both for stepping forward. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Thank you, sisters. Peace.
Peace.
All praises due to Allah.
Alhamdulillah. 1 second, Brother Deputy Chief. Sisters, do either of you have anything you wish to say?
Islam, I just want to thank Allah for blessing me with this information, the knowledge of Him, to whom I owe everything. I love Allah, and I love Muhammad, and I love our Prophet Noble Jew Ali. Islam.
Islam, Sister Charlotte in Culver House. I think that was yes. Alhamdulillah. And Sister Rihanna Levi Eel, anything you wish to say before we move forward?
Just appreciate you much, Divine Minister. Thank you so much. Islam and peace.
Islam, beloved. You're welcome. Praise Allah. Islam, Brother Deputy Chief, before we move forward.
Islam, or just wanted to give thanks to Allah for the welcoming of our sister to our fold, the high fold. Islam?
Islam.
All praises due to Allah. Welcome.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Moore. All right, Moore. So, alhamdulillah, we have to take that moment to take care of important business. Alhamdulillah. So, do support the sisters as you know them, see them. You know, this is not an easy way to take on the responsibility of these 5 principles, particularly the prayer in a very hostile society. The U.S.A. and most of Western society is hostile to the making of prayer. They don't leave time for it. They don't even think about it. And well, all I can say is if you got the prayer book, the Salah information, the Ramadan information, read it. And if we can help you in any way, sisters, reach out. We're here for you. Alhamdulillah. All right, Morris. Our chapter this week is chapter 6, Life and Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. We are looking for a reader, of course. And I want to, before we start, send Islam to Sheikh Young Bey and Deputy Sheikh Young Bey send their Islams as they have traveled here in Baltimore this evening. But the Sheikh, when I spoke to him the other day, gave his Islams to the body that he wouldn't be here, but he still sends his Islam. So Islam Sheikh and Deputy Sheikh. All right, so we're looking for a reader for chapter 6, Life and Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. Islam?
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh. Hold on 1 second. Just want to make sure now that no one else wants to read. No one else this opportunity.
Was the really volunteering was just saying that there is some corrections, text corrections, Islam?
Oh, well, we have to have those. I don't have that page in front of me, and certainly I should. So, yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, go ahead. Our word corrects. I text correct.
Bismillah, Rahman Rahim, ever rising, giving perfect praises to Allah and all his true and divine prophets, to our illustrious Hebrew prophets in these days and time, and to officials in Baltimore, all on the call, all Muslims all over the world. And corrections are verse 1, replace the word in with of, of. And verse 5, interpolate the word child between the words this and the. THE, between the words this, THIS, and THE. Islam?
Islam, brother Deputy Sheikh. I appreciate you, Mo. I always got the brothers keep me straight. Alhamdulillah. So again, Moors, we're looking for a reader for chapter 6. A reader for chapter 6.
And if there's no reader, I will proceed.
Don't I know it? Come on, Moors. Don't leave it all on the Deputy Sheikh. This is a community for our event here. Let us all participate in this particular Islam.
Islam. This is Brother Mel Hyson, Deputy Sheikh, calling on Kings County, New York Republic.
Islam, Deputy Sheikh. I'm glad to know that I'm going to call you checking in right now. And if no one else, then we will defer to you as opposed to Deputy Sheikh McCall Bay. Is there anyone else willing to read our chapter this evening? Islam. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. If you, Islam?
To the sister. Islam. Are you?
Islam.
Islam, sister.
Islam. This is Sister Charlene Culverhouse out of the New York Republic. I will read, but I didn't hear what he said. The correction was for number 5.
He said, verse 5, interpolate or put the word child between the words this and the. So we'll read Islam. This child, the.
Islam.
Islam.
Chapter 6. Life and Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. A royal prince of India, Ravana of the south, was met at the Jewish feast. Ravana was a man of wealth, and he was just, and with a band of Brahmin priests sought wisdom in the West. When Jesus stood among the Jewish priests and read and spoke, Ravana heard and was amazed. And when he asked who Jesus was, from whence he came, and what he was, Chief Elil said, "We call this child a day star from on high, for he has come to bring to men a light, the light of life, to lighten up the way of men and redeem his people of Israel." And Hillel told Ravana all about the child, about the prophecies concerning him, about the wonders of the night when he was born, about the visit of the Magian priests, about the way in which he was protected from the wrath of evil men, about his flight to Egypt land, and how he then was serving with his father as a carpenter in Nazareth. Ravana was entranced and asked to know the way to Nazareth that he might go and honor such a one, a son of Allah. And with his gorgeous train, he journeyed and came to Nazareth of Galilee. He found the object of his search engaged in building dwellings for the sons of men. And when he first saw Jesus, he was climbing up a 12-step ladder, and he carried in his hands a compass, square, and axe. Ravana said, "All hail, most favored son of heaven." And at the end, Ravana made a feast for all the people of the town, and Jesus and his parents were the honored guests. For certain days, Ravana was a guest in Joseph's home on Mariamman Way. He sought to learn the secrets of the wisdom of his son, but it was all too great for him. And then he asked that he might be the patron of the child, might take him to the east, where he could learn the wisdom of the Brahms. And Jesus longed to go that he might learn, and after many days his parents gave consent. Then, with proud heart, Ravana, with his train, began the journey toward the rising sun, and after many days they crossed the sand and reached the provinces of Orisha and the palace of the prince. The Brahmic priests were glad to welcome home the prince. With favor they received the Jewish boy. And Jesus was accepted as a principal in the temple of Gananath, and here he learned the Vedas and Manic law. The Brahmin masters wondered at the clear conceptions of the child and often were amazed when he explained to them the meaning of the law. I have concluded the reading of chapter 6, Life and Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims, Islam.
Islam, Sister Charlene Coverhouse, thank you. In verse 19, Jesus was accepted as a pupil. Is that what you have in the temple Jagannath?
Yes.
All right, good. Thank you. Thank you so much for that divine read. May Allah bless you for coming forth to help us with this particular read, divine. All right, Morris. Well, life and works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. Very serious chapter. Gives us a little more build off of chapter 5. Verses 1 through 4 of this chapter introduce Prince Ravana of Orissa, India. Ravana was present at the feast of the Pesach in chapter 5. And describing Prince Ravana, these four verses describing Prince Ravana, who was traveling with a band of Brahmic priests, as wealthy yet just. Hearing this boy, not yet a man, Yashua, Isa, Jesus, speak amazes Ravana, who then seeks to know the youth's identity. Chief Priest Hillel shares the titles they have given the youthful debater in verse 5 and conveys his life story in verses 6 and 7, telling Ravana where Yeshua, Isa, Jesus, domiciles with his mother and father. Ravana, further entranced with the divinity of the youth, goes to find and honor him in verse 8. Journeying to Galilee, Ravana, quote, with his gorgeous train, end quote, finds the youth in Nazareth engaged in the family business. Verses 10 through 14 account Ravana's success in finding the youth with, quote, compass, square, and axe, end quote, in hand, greeting him and his family, arranging a community feast with the divine family as Ravana's guest of honor, and subsequently abiding as guests in the home of the divine family, interacting with the youth, constantly seeking to comprehend how this young man is so imbued with this divine mind spirit, all to his inability to achieve and much to his dismay. Verses 15 and 16 tell us of Ravana's request to become the guardian and patron of Yeshua, Isa, Jesus, that he might take him to the east for mystical training and teaching in the Brahmic tradition. After some days, Mary and Joseph consent, and the young adept takes leave of his parents, going with Prince Ravana, Brahmic priest and trained to Orissa, India. Verses 18 to 20 share the arrival of the train and favorable reception of the youth by the Brahmic priesthood, as well as Yashua, Jesus' acceptance as a student in the Temple of Jagannath, where he receives instruction in the Vedas and Manic law, leaving all around him in states of wonderment at his divine sense. We have points of reference, questions of our 101 questions. Question 43, 44, and 45 have particular reference to this chapter. And questions as you might ask or seek to ask or address in your exercising your five senses are: who are the Brahmic priests? And what is the nature of their spiritual path? It mentions the word train. What is a train? Is another word for it in modern day. And verse 17 tells us that after many days they reached the palace of the prince. Does anyone know how far Orissa is from Nazareth? And approximately how long the journey might have taken? Additionally, the Vedas. What are the Vedas? How many Vedas are there? Name them if you can. What is the Manic law? How might studying in the system of spiritual consciousness been of illusory or benefit to Yeshua later on? So there's just some of the questions as we relate. And also, I believe in verse which verse is it? Hey, did I close it? It says cross the S-I-N. It should say cross the sin. I don't know if some of the chapters might say cross the sand, but it should say cross the sin. So with that, I open the floor up for the exercise of your five senses on this particular chapter, chapter 6. Before we do that, let us open the floor to anyone who may have joined us since we began, who wishes to make their presence known. Star, meet your phone. Tell us who you are, from where you're calling. Islam? Star, tell us who you are, from where you're calling.
Islam. Brother A.D. Winbush Bay from Detroit, Michigan. Love to get praises and honors out. Praises to the Most High, the Creator faith. May Allah be in sweet holy name. Get honors to beloved prophet, the last prophet in his days. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the front runner, red, black, and green. You know what I mean. Marcus Garvey on the scene. Love to give honors to Bratton Bay, the Grand Sheik on this location. Honors to all the Moors on call, here, there, and everywhere. Those out here on this Good Friday doing what we do best. Those on the line, those at home, the sick, the shut in. All praises to the Most High. Love you, Moors. Peace and love. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, Brother Winbush Bay. Welcome, Aki. Glad to have you with us. One more Friday. Glad to be together. Anyone else? We need to check in before we move forward. Now is the ideal time.
Islam, Divine Minister.
Islam, man.
Islam, we have 47 participants on the call now. Islam?
Islam, 47. Beautiful. Chapter 47. Beautiful. 47 participants. All right. Well, we have no requirement that you must say something, but we certainly do encourage each and every one to participate, make your presence known so that we may acknowledge you. Anyone else wishing to make their presence known, now is a good time to do so. Islam? Alhamdulillah. All right. So let's move forward. Islam?
Yeah, there he is.
Islam?
Let me get a sister all the glasses.
All right. Islam, someone, I know who you are. You coming through? All right. So we open the floor now to exercise your five senses on this chapter, Life and Words of Jesus. Islam, Mother Gray, go ahead.
Giving thanks, Sheik. This brother Cornelius Sanders Bay, calling out of Lake County, Florida Republic. Bismillah, Ad Akman Ad Ahim. First and foremost, I'd like to rise to my highest of heights and give all proper praise to our Father God Allah, acknowledging our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing the name of all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. I would like to remain standing and extend those honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bay, all national officials at headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, and deputy sheikesses, and all of our friends, visitors, guests, citizens, members, children. I greet everyone with Islam. Um, Beautiful chapter on life and works of Jesus in India among the Moslems, and just from the title is very interesting, and it brings our attention to India, and we know that India is south southeast southeastern India is southeast subhanallah is southeastern is the southeastern border, so it's southeastern Asia, subhanallah, southeastern Asia. So we all know that the landmass all was once Asia, which makes us Asiatic. So that's very, very key and point. And verse 1, a royal prince of India, Ravana of the south, was met at a Jewish feast. So just continuing on verse 5, we call this we call this child the day star from on high, for he has come to bring men a light, the light of life, to lighten up the way of the way of men and redeem his people of Israel. Israel. So when we say the child of the day, the child, we call this the child, the day star from on high. So when I see the star, it brings to mind the 5-pointed green star in the center, and we all know that that's part of our flag. And then when it says when he comes to bring men a light of life, we know in chapter 2, the education of Mary and Elizabeth and Zoe in Egypt, we know that it tells us on verse 15, a mighty work is theirs, for carnal men not want not the light, they love the dark, and when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. Verse 16, we call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can reveal the light. So that we see that right, talking about that light, men a light. So we have to get that light first in order to give that light. And also, when we see verse 6, and Halil told Ravana about the child, about the prophecies concerning him, about the wonders of the night when he was born, about the visit of the Magian priest. So we know in our keys, we see key 24, who was Jesus? He was a prophet of Allah. Key 25, where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah in the house of David. So just making that connection. And then also, also we see on verse 10, he found the object of his search engaged in building dwellings for the sons of men. And also in chapter 2, verse 17, and you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of men. So we see that connection right there. And in verse 11, and when he first saw Jesus, he was climbing up a 12-step ladder, and he carried in his hands a compass, square, and an axe. And we know in the previous chapter, which was chapter 5, we see on verse 15, we use the compass to draw the circles around our passions and desires to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. In verse 14, we use the square to measure all our lines, to straighten out the crooked places of the way and make the corners of our conduct square. And finally, on verse 16, we use the axe to cut away the naughty, useless, and ungainly parts and make the character symmetrical. So just basically rounding it off, these tools, verse 13, these tools remind me of the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thought and where we build up character. So, by that being the case, we build up the character, being that he has the compass, the square, and the axe. With the compass, square, and the axe, and up on the 12-step ladder, verse 21, and on the 12-step ladder we ascend until we reach the pinnacle of that which life is spent to build the temple of perfected man. And we all know that the circle is the symbol of the perfect man, and the 7 is the number of the perfect man. So with that being said, the compass, the square, and the axe is definitely symbolic to the building of perfected man. And another point I just wanted to point out, we see that we see south, we see the south, we see the west, we see the east on there. So that's the use of the compass also. And with that, I'll just put a period behind my commentary and demonstration and yield the floor back to you, Sheikh. I appreciate the time. Islam?
Islam, Brother Sanders Bay. Time well used. Thank you, more. Alhamdulillah, for making those salient points. Compass, square, and the axe, and more. Islam, Morris, the floor is still open. Anyone wishing to exercise 5 senses, please feel free to do so. Come forward. Don't be shy. Gifts of understanding are the treasures of Allah, and Allah appointed to everyone that portion of what measures him is good unto Allah. Have to endow thee with wisdom, have to enlighten thy mind with the knowledge of truth. Communicate it to the ignorant for their instruction. Communicate it to the wise for thine own improvement. So whatever it is, the point is communicate. When you have the knowledge to keep it to yourself, that's selfish. So open the floor, more. Wish to exercise your 5 senses. Don't be shy. Go ahead, give it a try, give it an effort. See what you think about these things. Brother Sanders Bay certainly did bring out the points of the compass, the square, and the axe last week, last creation, when we talked about the typical tools of the workshop of the mind and their usage. And as most of us can see, if most of us are cognizant to any degree, then we realize that 2 of these tools that were mentioned last week, last creation, and 2 that I mentioned right here, right now, are used in a very symbolic way, but are not being lived up to as we know the symbolism is. So we see the compass and we see the square. We often see it, and we see that as a symbol of the Masonic orders, as they're called. The various Masonic orders, all of them, including that Illuminati Masonic order, they all carry the compass in the square, but they're not using that compass to surround themselves and to curtail and reduce their passions, to keep them in the bounds of righteousness. They're not using that square to stand up in righteous conduct. So we see the falsehood. The floor is open, Moa. Star, meet your phone. Participate in the conversation. Islam, Brother Deborah, go ahead, Mo.
Whenever I hear, give thanks. Ever rising, seeking refuge from the accursed one, giving praises, side praises to Allah, Mother, Father, God of the universe, and honoring all true and divine prophets, seen and seen, known and known, reincarnated unto our illustrious Hebrew prophets in these days of time, Prophet over to our life. I don't know where National Grand Street, Girl Breton Bay, all officers in all republics, all on the call. Shout out to Marcus Messiah, God with the forerunner. And to the ancient spirit that guide us through these turbulent times. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Islam was, it is very interesting that when Ravana first saw Yashua, he was on this 12-step ladder and had in his hands the compass, square, and axe. And the chapter prior to is stating that these tools are the ones we handle in the workshop of the mind, where things are made of thought and where we build up character. Yes, and character is linked to nationality. Yeah, and in chapter 5, they mention the square first, then the compass, and then the axe. But in chapter 6, they refer to the compass first. So that was kind of interesting to myself. And I said, when I read what both instruments did, I said to myself, before we make any move, I think we should use that compass and draw the circles around our passions and our desires and keep them within the bounds of righteousness before we make that move. Because the square does, what the square does is measure all our lines. And for a line, for we to draw a line, we have to move from one point to the other. Hope I'm making sense. Yes. And to straighten out the crooked places on the way. So if we are not in the bounds of righteousness, crooked places will not be straightened, and our corners of our conduct won't be square. So, and the axe is to cut all those stuff away that is not necessary. So, leaving that for a second and going to verse 2 in this chapter, it speaks of Ravana, sought wisdom in the west. And when we get to verse 17, in the movement of the train, I guess returning to Orissa, India, they're moving towards the rising sun. And chapter 9 talks about the train that went to Nazareth of Galilee. So, as far as my research, I don't think Galilee is in the east. I think one is in the west, in Brazil. Yeah, so that is very interesting. As we know, this is Egypt of the West. So, with that said, I return the floor. Only one will I, Islam.
Islam, Brother Deputy Sheikh, shukran. That's good. Excellent. It's good. Yeah. They sought wisdom in the West. It's true. Because Orissa is definitely, as it was said earlier, southeast of Nazareth. So it's definitely to the east. So, salient points, wonderful points. Thank you, Deputy Chief. Relating back to chapter 5, these tools are true. In chapter 5, the square is first mentioned. And in chapter 6, the compass is first mentioned. Although in chapter 5, it seems that it was necessary to speak to the square in terms of conduct, and then the compass in terms of dealing with the circumscribing our passions. So, very, very good. Thank you for the sharing, Brother Deputy Chief. Floor is still open, Moors. Don't be shy. Let Allah say something on that. Share it.
Islam, Brother A.D. Wimbush Bay. Want to give my 5 senses. Pray the angel and cherubim assist me on this. Want to give honors to the 2 brothers that came before me. They did well, Jesus and all masterminds. They did very good. Sometimes when people say what you feel like, hey, nothing to say, they didn't broke it down. The brother broke it down like, woo-wee. That's a teacher for you. To get honest to the brothers, because he did go there. But life and works of Jesus in India amongst the Muslims, almost just draw up on number 4, 5, 7, maybe, see, because and when he asked who Jesus was, because, I guess he was asking, like, well, who is this guy? Just imagine someone 12 or 14 years old. That's why the children these days are so, so, so important. Not kids, not no Billy Goats, but children. They are so important. That's why these secret lessons for all those that love Jesus, and we give instruction to the children because they're so important to us. Jesus being a mastermind, they wanted to know, well, who is this person right here? Who is this child? You know, sometimes you think you're smarter than a fifth grader. These children out here now, they smart. Thank God some of the parents teaching them, but just imagine the divine prophet Jesus breathing on the ones. They want to know from where he came from, you know. So the chief had to break it down to him. Say, wow, man, okay. So we call this child a day star from on high, you know. Because, hey, you know, what did you say? We have this Moorish Science Temple of America, this divine information. He was bringing it to him. You know, I know he was saying a whole lot to get them elders' minds filled up, but he was dropping on. I know it was just like puzzle, like, you know. But we call for he has come to bring them to man the light of life, and to lighten up their way. Because that's what we need in this world. Sometimes we feeling down and out, or we don't want this, or we feeling like we too good. Sometimes inspiration bring you back. That's why the science so good. We go through the downfall, and you know, here come Friday. We all geeked up. Now we going into science, or we get into the conference call to bring our spirits back up. Now we back where we, you know. But Jesus had followers. Just follow him, you know. Just they was light. Some didn't believe, but they would follow him. And this other part right here, he said, he told him, let's say, and he called this day. Let me see, I lost it. From on high, life light up the way of men and redeem his people of Israel, because you know, the chosen ones, and God Himself send a divine prophet to warn them and get them ready, and all the ones that was seeking to learn and get the wisdom from this young child was risen up with the truth. And we know that some people were feeling down and out because they were scared of death. You know, Jesus, that's why he said that about these evil men. He remembered that he was a baby. He recalled that. Like, wow, he recalled that when the cruel king wanted to kill all the children. The Most High protected him. You got work to do, you know. He protected. He recalled all that. And now he growing up and coming up and going here and there, to and from, teaching, and it's like I said, as a student, but still dropping the laws on them. You know, like they're giving him information, but he's like, he got it already, just fresh in his memory. You know, man, don't forget, he failed to recall, you know. So Jesus, being a mastermind that he was bringing it forth. So who wouldn't have Jesus for a God? But there he said, hold on, I'm your brother man. Come to send you back home to your Father, to the Most High. You know, there's, like these days, they trying to scare us with death. Death's no enemy to man. It's a friend. But I ain't about to premeditate and go out here and take a shot. If it comes my way, it comes my way. All I got to do is pray right, eat right, and stay focused, and all will be well. So Jesus had to come to show them, like, look, y'all, death is nothing. Don't be scared. Walk on the water. Come on, Peter. Lost faith. You know, wait, get up on this boat. You know, have faith. That's what Gerard Lee wants us to do. Have faith. Believe. Know that when you pass form, you're going through the soul plane. Get your thoughts right. That's the main thing, to get our thoughts right. It's these secrets lessons for all those that love Jesus. desire to know about his life, works, and teachings. He went all through the land as we living what we should know. Thank y'all for giving me time to exercise my five senses. I'm thinking I'm able to, so peace and love. Thank you.
Islam, Brother Wimbush Bay. Thank you for that sharing. And particularly bringing out the point that, sometimes we get caught in the European way. And, we have children. We don't have kids. That's so important that we understand that we have children. We don't have kids. We need not to call our children out of their name, kids, as we said, baby goats. And that's part of our bringing the light. So thank you, Mo. Thank you for your sharing. Alhamdulillah. Blessings. Floor is still open, Mo. Got a few minutes.
Kwame, Rowley. Oh, you did it again. Nah, I wasn't. I said Marco.
Islam. Floor is still open, Mo. So exercise the five senses. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. This will be stopped with the sword. Islam. Go ahead, Mo.
Islam. This is Deputy Sheikh Muhammad Hyson L. calling out of Kings County, New York Republic. Islam Sheikh. Happy Holy Night to everyone on the call. Muslims listening, not listening, all around the world. Rising my highest heights, give all perfect praise to our Mother, Father, God, Allah. All honor to our divine prophets, namely Jesus, Muhammed, Buddha, and Confucius, and our last prophet in these days and times, our honorable prophet, Noble Drew Abi. I extend those honors to all the brothers and sisters on the call, all our sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, divine ministers, all our national officials, staff, and all our members, guests, visitors, all those doing the divine work of uplifting fallen humanity. Greet you with our eternal words of peace, Islam. All the beauty and Satan al-Rajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Mashallah, subhanallah. I'm sure may Allah be pleased with the sisters who took their shahada today. May their journey be with ease. There will be challenges along the way, but may your journey be with ease, even with your challenges, inshallah. This is a wonderful chapter 6, Life Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. So one of the first things I want to bring everybody's attention to is that the title of the chapter is Life Works of Jesus in India among the Muslims. Yet, in the chapter, they're not mentioning Muslims, they're mentioning Brahms. So that's the first thing I want to point them towards to, right? Yes, the Brahms or the Brahmic priests or the Abrahamic priests, like in Abraham, right? First Hebrew, Islam, they are Muslims as well. They believe in the one God. The expression of it might take many forms, but they also are Muslims, Islam. And the more you study and get into, like the Divine Minister mentioned, the Vedas, the Vedic scripts, and the Manic law and those things, you'll get into and you'll understand that for yourself with consuming the information. Islam. Verse 4, where it says, when he asked who Jesus was, from whence he came, and what he was. So first he asked who Jesus was, Then he asks from whence he came, and then what he was. So keep in mind that's different. The different values that he's looking about this entity, Islam. And Chief Halil said, we call this child the day star from on high, come to bring men a light, the light of life. So this sentence itself is very symbolic and well, subhanAllah, let's continue to lighten up the way of men and redeem his people of Israel, subhanAllah, pardon self. So this verse is very symbolic, as if you take time. And this chapter is a good chapter to use in general, in getting in practice of researching the Prophet's writings and your Circle 7, because there's a lot of things in this chapter that most people are not familiar with. And if you look them up, you know, you'll open doors to a lot of a lot of different parts of the science that we dealing with. So the day star, we know, if you look it up, it'll come up in references, also reference the morning star. And if you look up the morning star, you'll find that it references Venus. And we know Venus is the Roman goddess of love, correlates with the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite, which of course, or Aphrodite, that of course correlates with Asiatic versions of the Queen of the Heavens and our different astrological sciences, or astronomical Islam. I might be using the wrong term, but I believe it's astrological sciences. Islam, subhanAllah, if I'm incorrect. So, and Venus is the planet first seen right before the sun rises. So this verse of calling the child the day star from on high, bringing light, he coming to light the way for all men and all mankind. And this is and we know the reference of Venus and love. We know in our previous chapters we read that the comparison of John, Yahya, and Yashua, Jesus, being purity and love, Jesus being the love. So that's our connection there. So and then I also always stress verse 20. The Brahmic masters wondered at the clear conceptions of the child and were often amazed when he explained to them the meaning of the law. It goes to, again, like our brother was just stating, you know, many of our counterparts on the planet, in their societies and their groups, they prepare their children very well, for very young, with the maxims of society and the understandings of how to operate in society, even forcing them into certain responsibilities at very young ages so that they can go through the experiences young and gain those experiences. And when you mirror that to a lot of our people and our society, whether conscious or unconscious, whether they, you know, claiming their nationality or not, there's a very protective type of sheltering energy that at times is unnecessary and could be a hindrance to the growth of our people and our children for their understanding and dealings with society. So keep in mind that the children definitely have clear conceptions of the things and of the happenings that they're seeing and the events going on. So don't speak to them like the baby talk. Always speak to the children with the understanding that you're speaking to a very competent entity, Islam. So as our divine minister always shares, we share our knowledge we communicate it for the ignorant, for their improvement, and we also communicate it for our own improvement. So that's the same way you got to deal with the children. You got to think about it like they improving themselves always because they're young. So their experiences is just adding to their knowledge and experiences. So deal with them on a high level, high degree as much as possible. And with that, I yield the floor. Islam, thank you much.
Islam, thank you, Deputy Chief Omar Hayes and Deal for that sharing and those points, serious points. The Muslims and the Brahmins, and yes, it is true. It is so true. As it said in What is Islam, a Muslim is one who does no harm by thought, word, or deed to any other. So, yes, it's very easy to be a Muslim, regardless of what house you sit in. Islam, thank you, Mo. Thank you very much for that sharing. And for coming down. We are at that time. First, well, let me see. I think the Grand Sheik is probably not with us, but if the Grand Sheik is on the line, then let me know about the Grand Sheik, and I'll start to close so we can give you the rest of the time and more. Though when we speak, I'm pretty sure you're still in the house in Baltimore. So, alhamdulillah. We will take one more. If you wish to exercise your 5 senses, you will be our last exercise for this evening. Islam, so don't be shy. Islam, Brother Deputy.
I'll be short.
Alhamdulillah.
Father God of the universe, and all our divine prophets, all the Muslims on the call, and who are not. Islam, just to I guess concur with some of the things that Deputy Chief just said. In India, I think they use the Muslim law to govern. So just to make that link that those folks are Muslims also. And when it comes to religion, the foundation is always the same. It's the building, the attaching of the upper rooms that differs from religion to religion. Islam, turn the floor.
Short and sweet, Brother Deputy Chief. Appreciate you more. Short and sweet, to the point. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for that sharing. It's true, Moors. We have so much to learn. If you don't understand the Vedas, the Manic laws, yes, you should research these points so we can talk more about them. These are the lessons that the one called Jesus received going into India, and we can see that these lessons, particularly when you look into them themselves, have a potent effect upon the life of this particular individual, particularly as he moves into the transformation of human flesh into flesh divine. Islam. All right. Well, we're going to begin our close. We're thankful that each of you have come with us this evening and shared with us. We are the only temple, unfortunately, that teaches the national side of Moorish science. But every Friday we come together to celebrate the divine and the national. The national side relates to the policy of freedom. All of these lessons relate to the policy of freedom, because to have these divine lessons and to have no real salvation, where we see the prophet in his caricature on our questionnaire cover, bringing humanity out of the cares of the world and stepping onto land, which is classified on that caricature as salvation. So all these divine lessons have little impact when we have no land by which we can take care of ourselves. So as we go through these lessons, Moors, please be mindful that as spiritual as they come back to our spirit becoming, our raising our spirit so that our daily physical interactions take on that light that we just spoke about in this chapter, that the light, that we have to show that light. We have to be that light, but yet we have to be divine light in a physical world, in a mundane world. It's not easy. So we definitely encourage all of you to support our two sisters who just made their shahada this evening, Sister Levy Hill and Sister Charlene Culverhouse. And may Allah again make your way easy. Coming up, and both the sisters were wanting to make sure that they had taken shahada before Ramadan came in. Ramadan is coming in, scheduled somewhere around next Monday, the 12th, not this Monday, next Monday, the 12th of April. Somewhere around there, once we spot the moon, we will know for sure. It could be the 11th, it could be the 13th, but we'll watch for that first sliver of the new moon. That means the next day we begin to fast. Again, the fast of Ramadan is one in which we do our best. Sometimes you don't make it, and Allah is merciful. He tells us in the Quran that the fast is not to be a hardship for you. It's not to be a hardship. So if you're taking medications for some reason you have to eat, you take the medications and eat. But those who are able to do without the food and do without the water from sunup, or actually from Fajr prayer to the Maghrib prayer, should do so. Who will separate themselves from their carnal world should do so and read that chapter. I don't know. Last year we had a reading of the Quran, and I'm hoping that we also have such scheduled for this year, so that those of you who wish would be able to participate in the daily readings of the juice, one juice after the other for 30 days. It's a difficult task, but if we're able to do that, we will do it, inshallah. I haven't talked to the deputy chiefs and those who are responsible, so I'm not putting you on the line to do anything more that is difficult. But if we can, let us figure out how to do that. And if not, then take it upon yourself to read your Quran, that juice. But if you don't know, if you have your Quran, now our chosen translation is A. Yusuf Ali, Abdullah Yusuf Ali for the Quran. We choose that particular translation because of his commentary. He has excellent commentary that correlates a lot of other information, spiritual and ecclesiastical information for us. But when we read during Ramadan, we don't read the commentary. We just read Quran, the verses of the Quran, and straight through. So when you open your Quran, doesn't matter which one, they all, no matter what translation, they all, at some point, you will see at the top or the bottom of the pages, fractions, like 1/30, 2/30, 3/30, and so forth till you get to 30/30. And so that first day you read up to that 1/30. The second day you read up to the 2/30, and so forth, until every day you read 1/30 of the Quran, and in 30 days we've read the entire book, or at least once each year. So that being said, Ramadan is coming. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem to those who will fast, and may Allah make your fast, make your way easy. Sisters Levi and Culver House, may Allah make your way particularly easy, this being your first fast under your Kalima Shahada. Alhamdulillah. Again, Moors, we are here every Friday. We invite you to join us every Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Holy Night call. We do this because this is what we need, and in this day and time, with the congregation of membership that is spread from coast to coast and beyond, we have members all over North America, and from Canada, down to Mexico. We have members. We have members sitting on this side of the ocean, with this side meaning the southeastern side of the southeast or Mexican or the eastern side of the Atlantic Ocean. And we have members sitting as far as Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean. So we're a diverse and spread out group. So our call is for all of you to join us every Friday. We appreciate you being with us. We encourage you to join us Sunday. We're talking about the children just in this chapter here. We're talking about the children. They said this is a child, a day star from on high. And the fact that he's 12 years old disputing with the doctors of the law. There's no reason that our children won't have the same capacity once we give them that light. Once we share that light with them, the light of Allah, the light of nationality, the light of these lessons Prophet Noble Ali has brought us. Once we give our children this light, they are the guidance of the nation and the living now. Our law tells us that these are the guidance of the nation. Out of your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. And many times we refer to our children as future guiders. And they will be the future guiders as they become adults. But right now, amongst their peers, they are the guiders of the nation. So let's fill them up with the light of love and the light of this law. Alhamdulillah. So that being said, enjoy this Sunday. Join us next Friday for our Holy Night Call, 9 p.m. Join us Sunday at 12 noon for our Sunday school call. At this number, all of our public calls, are at this phone number, 443-961-4434. We have 3 public calls: the Holy Night Call, our Sunday school call, which you will enjoy when you join us and hear our children show their expertise in just conveying these messages and these lessons, as well as the adult Sunday school. And of course, for our Sunday evening, we have our town hall meeting where we delve more specifically into the policy of freedom, the 4 proclamations of emancipation, and the 13th Amendment, the original 13th Amendment containing 20 sections. So all of that at this number for you. So please do feel free to join us at those times: 9 p.m. Friday, 12 noon Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, all Eastern times Sunday. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors, order to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophets. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Alhamdulillah. We are so blessed for Allah to send us a prophet to redeem us. Of course, Allah is true to Allah's word, and Allah tells us in the Quran that retribution will never be sent upon a people until they have received a warner. Alhamdulillah, we have received our warner. Let us now avoid the retribution. Islam. At this time, Moors, we're going to affirm ourselves to ourselves. Alhamdulillah. But we are going to recite our Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, first person plural, so that we own it. Islam, star, mute your phone, and let us manifest this. We are the children of one Father, united by His children.
We are the children of one Father, united by His care.
And the breast of one mother has given us suck.
In the breast of one mother has given us suck.
Let the bonds of affection therefore unite us with our brothers and sisters.
Let the bonds of affection therefore unite us with our brothers and sisters.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
That peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
And when we separate in the world, remember the relation that binds us to love and unity.
And when we separate in the world, relation that binds us to love and unity.
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
If our brother is in adversity, if our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
And his care be continued to us all.
And his care be continued to us all.
In our love to each other.
And our love to each other.
Islam is all about the love. The Prophet told us love will change the world. Let us love Allah enough to love ourselves and love each other. And we will never see this condition with our people again, inshallah. Ameen. At this time, all who are able, please rise, face the east, stand in erect posture, heels together, toes separated at a 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular thereto, with 2 fingers erected together on the right hand, 5 fingers erected together on the left hand, for our Moorish American prayer. Islam is Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation, by night and by day, through Holy Prophet, through Ali. Ameen. Peace. Islam Moors, thank you all much for being with us. Most High bless. Juma Mubarak, blessed holy night, Shabbat Shalom. Loving you all, loving you all. May Allah guide and protect you until our next meeting, inshallah. Shabbat Shalom.
Divine Minister.